last interview before the break, which is coming short because we are slightly late. We have Paolo Picazio, Head of Market Development of Shopify, connected from remote.
Oggi celebriamo le persone che non solo hanno avuto un'idea, ma hanno anche agito per concretizzarla. Le persone che hanno assunto un rischio e si sono messe in gioco, sapendo che il successo non era garantito. Le persone che non hanno seguito la strada più facile, ma hanno scelto la loro strada, malgrado le difficoltà. Motivati a ritagliarsi il proprio spazio in questo mondo. Oggi non celebriamo noi stessi, ma voi, 1 milione di persone che hanno raggiunto un obiettivo. 1 milione di persone che hanno avuto il coraggio di introdurre delle novità nel mondo, credendo nelle potenzialità di un mercato più ampio e più concorrenziale. Oggi celebriamo voi. Tutti voi, i componenti di questo milione.
Eccoci, buongiorno.
Here we are. Good morning, Paolo. Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone. I think your interview is very fitting because we talked about million of small and medium enterprises going digital. Maybe they were forced by the situation, of course. Nobody chose to do it. I mean, nobody chose COVID, but many companies went digital and they can appreciate its benefits and positive aspects. So million of companies need an e-commerce platform. So I think you are in the right place at the right time. What you see from your point of view, can you please introduce Shopify and tell us what you do? And then I would like to ask you what you do from your privileged observatory. Thank you, David, for this opportunity. Shopify is a Canadian multinational company. It is very well known in the US, and we recently arrived to Italy. In 2006, we developed this e-commerce solution, which is used by over 1 million entrepreneurs. We are the brand behind the brands. Our technology allows us to help everyone selling online, locally or internationally. In Italy, we work with Alessi, Clio Makeup, Malibu, Velasca, very important brands. In the US, in UK, French and German market, we have big e-commerce brands. Gymshark in the UK, they might be very well known abroad, but they are completely changing the landscape of e-commerce. And Allbirds and Gymshark are worth over $1.5 billion. Pardon. In the past few months, we've seen an incredible development in terms of e-commerce creation. We've seen the great reaction to COVID. Entrepreneurs are very resilient. That's a very strong buzzword. And entrepreneurs might be fragile, but they were capable of resisting while adapting to the change. This also happened in Italy. At the beginning, we talked about a boom of online consumers. They went from 25 to 27 million. That's an important increase. So more people buy online, more people sell online. In Italy, we've noticed an unprecedented growth. it was 4 times that of the UK and twice as big as the one we witnessed in Germany. And that's for every area: fashion, food, design. Online was and is a channel to meet your customers if they can't come to you physically. So many companies opened an online store, even small and medium enterprises. You told me that you carried out research on Black Friday. What are your focus for Black Friday? Black Friday is around the corner. I think it's in 2 weeks. Yes, Black Friday will be November 27th. It is generally a very important moment for e-commerce in the Western world, in the US and EU. So from November 27th to November 29th, Cyber Monday, last year on Shopify, so on the million e-commerce businesses using Shopify, we had $3 billion of transaction, an increase of 68% compared to the previous year. We decided to carry out a research, and the results are impressive, especially for Italy. We know that Black Friday is something that comes from the US, but it is very much appreciated in Italy, even more than in the US. 84% of the customers we interviewed declare they are ready to buy on that weekend, versus 64% of US consumers and 67% of British customers. It used to be a niche event a few years ago. Now it is a big moment, and it will be really informative on the status of e-commerce. The average ticket will be $384. And what will we buy? Fashion and consumer electronics will be the categories that will be more bought, probably according to the intention. So that's a good news for everyone working in this sector. So we will benefit from the novelty effect, because I think Black Friday is quite new for Italy, correct? Yes. A few days ago, I was looking at the change of the volume of research of the word Black Friday. In 2010, it was barely mentioned. In 2014, we've seen a peak, and then from 2016 on, we've seen a strong interest in Black Friday. And this year is even more important than before, even more important than in the US, where this originated. So we're talking about small and medium enterprises developing on e-commerce, or some will develop it in the future. What are the main hurdles for them to start an online business? Where can you help them in a more practical way? Nowadays, opening an online business is much simpler and much cheaper compared to 5-10 years ago. So what we are doing as Shopify and with other players, we've heard from Luca Colombo, we have a partnership with Facebook, we work with Commercio. So our first step is to create awareness and communicate the fact that going online is much simpler because you don't have to be that tech savvy as you needed to be in the past. And with Shopify, it's easier and much cheaper compared to years ago. So we're raising awareness on that. Then there's the educational component, because we cannot forget that the average age of Italian entrepreneurs is one of the highest in Europe. So these are less digitalized generation. You mentioned throughout the week, throughout the day, that younger generation are more digital savvy. So we are creating partnerships with Commercio and other agencies to raise the awareness on the importance of the technologies and to educate on the functioning of these platforms and channels, because they can be fundamental for the future. They were crucial during lockdown, but they will be a good investment for the future, because sometimes online is perceived as an option, while online and offline are two different channels that can be integrated. And channels are not strategies, they are tactics. And most successful companies are using a retail everywhere approach. So there is not a stark difference between online and offline. They should be merged together, because this is how consumer experience purchases. They hop from online to offline. So you have to really integrate them correctly. What is your focus for 2021 for the Italian market? I am optimistic by nature, but I see a good trend for the future. I don't believe that offline would disappear, as Luca Colombo was mentioning earlier. I think we will strike a good balance. Italian customers developed a new muscle. They learned how to do something new, especially the older generations. This habit will remain. Offline and online need to change. They will need to approach the other channel, because people discover a company or an item online, but they might want to buy on Instagram or in store, on Pinterest, on TikTok. They might want to return an item in store. So there is the need for an omni-channel strategy. Customers ask for that, and brands should be able to meet this need. Thank you, Paolo. That was very interesting, and I think that's very actionable for many of our listeners. We'll take a short break, and then we will return in 10 minutes.